Hey everybody, welcome back to NSB Custom Cars. So on our last episode of things to do is I put some new door latches, the drag style door latches and locks on the Dart, and that was pretty much everything that I could get done with it in that weekend. Work's been keeping me quite busy. I've been taking care of somebody else's area, which is in Tennessee. I'm here in Florida, so that's quite a bit of distance. So every other week I'm having to drive up to Tennessee and take care of their area. So it's kind of put a hamper on a lot of stuff doing around here. But I'm back at this point. The next thing I'm going to do as far as this video is we need to put a set of plugs in this car. And I need to go through the valves since the last time we ran and make sure everything's adjusted right on that. And I still haven't got the seats back in it from when I did the latches, so I need to get the seats back in. So I got the seats back in, and right now I'm going to take these plugs out and change them. I'm going to take them out before I put them back in. We're going to adjust the valves. Let me show you what these look like. See if we can get a good focus on this. It might take a second to focus. Let it focus up there. That's a nice burning plug. Not too dark. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Smells like racing fuel. So there's 1, 3, 5, and 7. Out of all of them, I like number 3. Out of all of them, it's got a nice little chocolate brown to them. And these plugs are in nice shape. These things stay in adjustment pretty good. On cold settings, I'm doing 24 on the intake and 26 on the exhaust. Now we would drop down 2 on each one if it was hot. But so far what I'm seeing, they're not moving on that number 1. Let's do our next one. All right, I just finished adjusting all the valves, but I want to kind of go over how I adjust these valves, other than the filler gauge. Pretty much. See if we get this in focused here. Maybe we can zoom in. There we go. Pretty much write your firing order down. 1, 8, 4, 3, 6, 5, 7, 2. Then what we want to do is start halfway. So there's your first 4 cylinders, and then here's your last 4 cylinders. 6, 5, 7, 2. So we're going to start with 6, and we're going to write it again out beside here. So it's going to be 6, 5, 7, 2. Now we start back at the top. 1, 8, 4, 3. So there's my firing order on this side coming down, and then you start halfway with the other one. So this is what we're going to be watching. Straight across. So we're going to start with number 1. But for number 1, to adjust number 1, we're going to watch number 6. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So this is the one we're wanting to adjust. So that's number 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's the third one back on this side. So we're going to come back. Right here's the last one. And then right here's number 6. This is number 6. This is the intake valve. So we want to watch that intake valve. I'm going to start rotating the motor with my wrench. And just as soon as I see that intake valve start to move, right there. The exhaust is coming up, and this one's starting to go down. It just barely moved. Once I get to that point, Let's come back over here to number 1. Right here's number 1. And they're on their backlash. They are ready to adjust. Which I've already went through all these with the feeler gauge, and we're good to go. So that was number 1. We watched number 6. Remember, we're going to do number 8. So right now we need to watch number 5, which is the next one in queue. So looking at these, 1, 3, 5. So we want to watch this back one back here, almost to the back. Which is the intake. And I'm going to bump there she goes. She's starting to move right there. So the intake is starting to open. That means we adjust number 8. Number 8's all the way back over to this side of the motor. As you can see, we're on the back side. And pretty much, you'd go right on down the line. 1, 8, now we're going to do 4. We would watch number 7. And number 7 would open until you just keep going right on down that line until you get them all adjusted. You don't have to rotate the motor over a bunch of times. You just barely going a cylinder at a time. You do it one rotation and you have all of them adjusted. That's how I adjust the valves. So pretty much I got all the valves adjusted. I need to get the valve covers back on and the plugs back in it, or the new set of plugs in it, and we'll be done with this. I can get this out of the garage. You know, we got a nice set of Harlem Sharp rocker arms on there. And these things crank over a pretty good ways. It almost looks like it claps them springs, but it's not too bad. I find the best way to get that insulation off is a piece of tape. This is some carpet tape. Put that on there, peel it off. Don't want nothing too sticky, I've got a hairy arm. They don't get it all, they just get some of it. So there you have it. Change the plugs. Make sure all the valves were adjusted good on it. It's back on the trailer. Pretty much I just got to strap it down and it'll be ready to go back to the track. Which might be a little bit because Lee's out of town right now on vacation. I'm back in town, so I'm covering my area and his area. And it's going to be a long couple of weeks. Not to mention, as soon as he comes back, I got to go back to Tennessee and cover the other guy's area again. And that's going to go on for 3 or 4 months, so I'll be back and forth. But this week while I'm here, every day I come home, I'm going to try to get some things in here, shoot some video. That way we'll have some video to cover everything. And I'm going to bring the, after I bring my Super Bee in there and change the plugs and then get it back out, I'm going to bring that 70 in and we're going to check it out. Because since I've bought it almost a year ago, maybe a little more than a year ago now, I've just took it off the trailer and it's been underneath the carport. I haven't got underneath it. I want to get in here on the lift and look at everything. and we'll go around it and address some of the things that I need to do to it. So we want to get the 70 Roadrunner in here. And I ain't forgot about the green car. We're fixing to order. We finally got back up to normal. I've got to order an oil pan kit for this motor and get some motor mounts to go from that to this car here. And we'll be putting this thing in the car and see what it looks like. So that's all for this episode. Appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like us and subscribe.